Good morning, this is totally random.
Featuring Franz and Andrew Embler.
Your weekly news and talk show with the concrete5 core team about concrete5 doing stuff, whatnot. Hey, today is April 20th, and here we are. Should be a reasonably light day. Nothing dramatic happened this week. Yay! In news, 5.5.2.1 has been released.
Yes, it's out there.
It's out there. It's been updated. It's released.
It's on the auto update. It's on the auto update. It's on the.
We pulled the trigger on all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we launch, there's kind of like there's this cascading list of things we have to do, and sometimes that list takes a while. But we this time done it all.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is mostly just bug fixes, behavioral improvements,
mostly
little tweaks. Very similar to 5.2.2, except if there were things in 5.2.2 that frustrated you, perhaps they will no longer.
Yeah.
But
experience killing bugs have been.
This is a very stable and happy version. You may notice it's like a point release. It's got that .1 at the end. Yeah. That's how you know that like I am safe and happy. I should install this and ride it for months.
Yeah, and we've actually kind of codified our version guidelines that we should probably publish on the site.
Sure, we should.
That I think is on my list of things to do today.
Yeah, that's great looking stuff.
Thanks. And it's stuff that we've always kind of sort of like what Franz was saying about the fourth digit in that list. When you get down to that level, it's usually pretty solid when it gets to the 5.5.2.1.
Yes.
In terms of we're not really going to touch this for the immediate future, and it's pretty stable.
Yeah.
So we have a list of guidelines for what makes a version a certain level, and we'll publish those.
Do we want to do a quick run through right now?
Sure.
Hold on a second. I'll give you a version number here. This
sure.
is great. This is impromptu, gang.
Don't put a 6 at the beginning. Oh, visual aids.
All right.
Okay, so the first digit here is a 5. That digit is not ever going to change. That stands for concrete5. In the larger universe of concrete, this used to mean something, but we are committed to the 5. So it's kind of like OS 10.
Just like OS 10. That's not changing.
Yeah. And the 5 to the right of it is what is the right word?
Generational?
The generational, thank you, that's what I was looking for. This is sort of bigger changes in our universe. So our latest big release was 5.5. It introduced a lot of sort of new user experience. There were some upgrade challenges for certain existing sites. Add-ons had to be rewritten to work on 5.5. So generally, if it's 5.something.0 or 5.something, we really want people to be testing this thing, but we wouldn't necessarily roll it out to mission critical applications right there.
It's a major change.
It's a major change.
There's going to be an update script that changes stuff in the database. There's possibility that things will not behave in a happy way.
Yeah, there's likely new ways that certain elements work. So if you forked your site in certain ways, you could be left on the site that you couldn't edit until you made code changes.
And just as an aside, it's possible as we head forward into the bold new future, that might be even more important. It's possible when, this is a 6, that it may really not be as backwards compatible as it has been in the past. There's been some kind of philosophical debate around the office of how much energy should go into ensuring 100% backwards compatibility on every feature. As community leaders thread about this, it started over the weekend. It feels like a lot of the times our role is kind of becoming this really unpleasant parental, hey, you can't do that because maybe it'll piss off one person in a square state somewhere that's doing something they shouldn't do with concrete5. And we've had that kind of experience.
Yeah.
We've told stories of, hey, we innocuously thought we would fix this, and it ended up actually breaking everything for everyone else.
Yeah.
And we're starting to kind of just debate, like, is that really how we should be rolling, or is the fact that, like, hey, this is a major update, and you want to be very careful about updating your site, and perhaps you should go hire someone to help you do that, that might be a nice thing, and that might make it a lot easier for us to kind of say yes to some of these Git pull requests that we're looking at going, oh boy, we're going to see, there's going to be fallout, and we're the ones who are going to get to feel it.
Yeah.
That 5, that middle digit may become more important in the future. How about the 2, Andy? What's the 2 all about?
2 is kind of the most, probably the most interesting one. This is kind of left up to discretion. So we knew when we did 5.5, we knew that was going to be a new release, or a new primary version number, generational version. The UI was very different.
Sure.
We added some new, we reorganized the dashboard completely. The 2, on the other hand, these are typically, there's probably a few feature improvements in this. Since it comes hot on the heels of a generational update, it's usually got some bug fixes. Sometimes if they have waited for a while, like 5.4.2 came after a while of 5.4.1, there may not be quite as many there may not be quite as many bug fixes. But there will usually be some feature improvements, and there will be some database changes.
Okay.
So the 3rd digit means it may be small. Like in 5.5.2, we just refreshed a couple blocks to add some fields to the database.
Mm-hmm.
But and there were some new features like the new image editor.
Yeah, new image editor, different way of treating files directory.
Yeah.
So with this 2, there's going to be some new stuff.
Yeah.
There's something to look. Maybe it's not stuff you care about. Yeah. Maybe it is, but there's something new to play with.
Yeah, and it will require some database tweaks. And finally, the 4th digit, we've never really explained this. We've never really codified this, but I think with the 4th digit change, there will be no database changes. So with 5.5.2.1, if the typical update procedure is to drop the core over the current core over the new core over the current one, you used to have to run an update script after that. You still have to do that, but there will be no ill effects toward just if you swapped out a 5.5.2 install with 5.5.2.1, you would. Your version number would still say 5.5.2, but nothing would be broken because there are no database updates to apply.
You're committed to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if we go 5.5, we have to do another update that has database changes. You got to do 5.5.3.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And because you're doing a database change for a particular reason.
Yeah.
And
see, that's a nice new level of clarity. That
yeah.
you ever had before.
No, we never did.
Just kind of like, nothing really new in there.
Yeah.
Just kind of fix some sloppy stuff.
Yeah.
So that didn't mean that you wouldn't have to run a database.
Yeah. I think it was probably useful as we continue through a world where many other people are writing update scripts for systems we don't even understand or interact with, like the simple scripts guys.
Sure.
Like, it's nice to be able to tell them, this release, you can just literally swap out your one-click installer.
I see why that's appealing.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go. That's how version numbers work. Good stuff.
And then when we get the 5th digit.
Oh my God, no.
5.5.2.1 red.
5.5.2.1 is out. The other piece of news is the PRB, the new, exciting, improved, automated, serves, toasts, butters, and adds cinnamon to bread, I believe. That will be launched next week.
Yes.
So we've been tinkering around with our concrete5.org stage this week. We've got a bunch of just kind of little improvements that we've been added to a list for quite a while now. And
fast and furious.
A bunch of little stuff is happening. We're going to finally add that IRC badge for you, Chris. That and, I don't know, a bunch of little stuff that we're looking at. So that'll be very exciting. That should launch early next week. Here's an exciting piece of news. Use the word exciting a lot. Anything that's in the PRB now is going to get to be resubmitted to the new PRB.
Ooh.
Yes, an opportunity to resubmit from the start fresh and anew.
And to experience firsthand the exciting new user interface.
Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, from the beginning to the end.
Oh,
so, if you are an add-on or theme developer and you have stuff in the PRB that is waiting approval and there's some back and forth and stuff, you should be very sure that you have a copy of what it is that you've submitted to the PRB. I have no idea how you could possibly not have a copy of your own work, but if you don't, that's a mistake that you're making. And, you should perhaps think about the comments that are in there, because it's quite possible you will not be seeing them again after the middle of next week. I'm sorry, update scripts are really annoying and hard to write, and it's just not worth it. So when the new thing goes up, people will get to submit everything that was left in the old thing there, and it'll be an exciting opportunity to start with a clean house. So there you go. Fair warning, we are communicating clearly today that your PRB submissions that have not been approved before, whenever it is we launch this stuff next week, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, you will need to resubmit those from scratch. So if there's notes that you're depending on, go read them now.
John the Fish asks, and I'm jumping into a question just because it's
by all
relevant.
means, we're a little freeform today, Matt. That's fine.
He asks, will that affect any documentation and description?
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no technical reason why anyone would have to resubmit. Like, beyond, at least resubmit they'd have to potentially resubmit their files.
Yes.
They don't have to, it wouldn't, unless we wanted to do this as a policy and clear out the PRB, because now is the time.
Okay, I just want to make your life easy launching it.
No, it has been built to work on top of the existing.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, the files will, all the automated tests will show up as failed until the files are resubmitted. So you will have to resubmit your files.
Okay.
But the existing listings can stay.
We may be upgrading your PRB listings when we launch the new PRB next week. It's possible
will have
that
to
things will
resubmit your
seamlessly
file.
just go. You may have to resubmit your file. My advice to you, given the dynamic back and forth that you have an exciting window into here today, is you might want to keep your description and name somewhere.
This is unwise.
It's quite possible we'll do whatever the beep we want to do when we relaunch PRB.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to do this versus that. I'm going to be eager to tell Andy, just get it done.
Yeah.
And you all may get to pay the price of Andy getting it done. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
It sounds like it might just work seamlessly and perfectly.
Well, yeah.
That'd be great. There you go. Is it time for karma?
Yeah, it sure can be.
Let's do it.
And the weekly karma winners, come on down.
Sweet.
Chat room.
Chat room. One like a weird feedback loop. All right. Looks like the karma machine has won. And it looks like Wayboat?
Wayboat, want a copy of the dealer locator? Hey.
Helping people. Sweet.
Peter Vernelia, want a copy of the dealer locator as well?
For promoting the project, super important.
And for doing work, we have Hostco winning a copy of the dealer locator.
Nice. Hostco gets it done. Thank you guys. Look at that. It's already new. People are already helping one another. It's been minutes since the machine ran. And BMS Wibby has done something that someone likes.
Taking the lead.
Taking the lead.
The lead.
He's running with it. That is great. That is awesome. Thank you so much. It is cool to see everybody helping one another, just wandering through the forums to find fun with forum stuff, which we'll get into in a second here. It's just really cool to see so many of these things are resolving themselves, and it's a pleasure to be part of an ecosystem that is so healthy in that way. So thank you. Any pictures?
Yeah, we got one this week.
Ooh. Bert!
This is from Bert Olden.
Moly! What do you have going on in your backyard, Bert?
A 12,720 foot spool of fiber optic cable.
Whoa.
Sweet!
Holy Moses.
Finally get the bandwidth that we want in here. You just roll that down to Google.
Roll it over to the Pacific Northwest.
Right along I-5. That's cool. Man,
That's awesome.
Every week as we get stickers from Bert, I am intrigued more and more as to what your backyard really looks like. What is going on
a
there?
panorama.
But that is the whole shenanigans. That is cool. If you do not know, you should. We will always happily send you stickers. By stickers, I mean physical stickers, real stickers like you would see in the real world. All you got to do is go to our swag page under the marketplace. Oh, there you go. I think those new transitions are pretty exciting.
Yeah,
So there we are with our bright shirts. Loving the shirts. There's some stickers. You can get a sense as to what they would be like. And right there, get 5 stickers for free. We will put them in an envelope. We will mail them to you. And as Matt's entering this in, you can see he is saying that he would like us to mail them to Joe Schmo. We, however, do not know where Joe Schmo lives.
Give us clarification.
Help us, Joe Schmo. I don't need your email, Joe Schmo. I know that's the next thing that you think of when I ask for your address is your email, Joe. That's not going to help. You cannot send stickers to an email. I don't know how to send stickers to an email.
I don't feel like the technology is quite there.
3D printer or something. I heard on NPR about like sand that can turn itself into anything.
That's pretty cool.
that may not be the most
Can't turn itself into stickers.
cost-effective way to build a concrete5 sticker. But if you put your mailing address in there, super elite sticker. I'll send you stickers. I don't care where you are. I'll send them to the Sudan, but you got to give me a mailing address. And then that'll be great. And you'll have stickers, and you'll put them on things, and you'll send us a picture of your stickers, and we'll give you carbon points, and you'll win free add-ons. Or you can send us a postcard. Someone sent us a postcard the other day. That was really cool. Yeah, we got like a little wall. We can put your postcard up there, and then we could like take a picture of that, and you know, cool stuff.
Super cool.
There we go. Shall we have fun in the forums?
Introducing Fun in the Forums!
Alright.
Funning it up.
Fun forums, 3 good ones today. Let's see. Do you have them up there? How about that first one?
Getting there. Hold on a
So
second.
ADM.
Great ADM.
Yeah.
Way to mess it up.
My chat program is failing us all.
In real time.
Here we go. Okay. This is looking better. 1 second.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is page views. Alright, so when this thread comes up, you'll see a forum post and it'll look familiar. I can actually just start reading it right here, so I got it in front of me. Page views on 552. I've tried to find an answer, but I could not. Someone asked me what happened to it, since the new upgrade didn't have any idea. I have not looked at the code yet, but I figured this would be an easy question to ask. Is it still around? And I think what they're talking about is in 5.4, when you went to the dashboard, there was a little graph in the upper corner that showed you how many visitors had happened, and it was kind of loosey-goosey math, but it was a graph. Who amongst us doesn't love a good graph? We all love graphs, so that was very appealing to people. And it just worked, and if you had a site with low traffic, it was a great way to roll. There wasn't a lot of detailed stats behind it, but it existed. It also slowed the dashboard down pretty considerably.
It did.
There's a lot of summing math that needed to happen for that graph to render. And so in 5.5, we kind of pulled that graph out a little bit. We just gave you some summary data on that little overlay box that you get the first time you log into your site as an admin in a 24-hour period. And there's actually, I think there's a link in that box.
Yeah, there's a button that says more statistics.
More
You
statistics.
click that, you get a bunch of graphs.
There's a page, a whole page full of different stats and stuff. And what
Yeah.
are we doing in there?
We have like latest downloads, users visited in like the last 5 days, summed up users. So that's always something I wanted for our own site.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff. You can get there from that little overlay window. You can also just go to intelligent search and type something like statistics.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is probably a good way to think about.
Yeah, it's in the reports section as well. I believe.
It's always a good way to think about if you're looking at 5.5 and you're wondering, wow, where did something go? I can't find it. Kind of the whole premise behind 5.5 is that you shouldn't have to understand the site's hierarchy to get around the dashboard at least. So just start typing something in intelligent search, and my money says you'll probably find it.
Yeah, it's pretty intelligent.
It's pretty intelligent. Don't be afraid. The other way this thread kind of matures, even in just a couple of posts, to like, hey, that built-in stats thing is not the most powerful thing on earth. You should maybe consider using Google Analytics. I agree with that. There's also a stat add-on in our marketplace that has
traffic and statistics.
Traffic and statistics
People like
is
that one more.
very solid. Adds some great reporting on top of what is built into concrete5. The last thing I guess I can say on this is we do track some data that you just really can't get out of Google Analytics because it is the app, so we know files last downloaded would be an example. And we have built reports for clients in the past that need very specific knowledge out of what's happening on their site. So how many and which users have watched the videos on this page, and did they make it all the way to the end of the video? Stuff like that is buildable if you want it to be on top of kind of the general statistics collection layer that is inside of concrete5. It's not the type of thing that you can just make with some drop downs or crystal report style, but if you're thinking about more advanced stuff, it's well worth your while to do that. And you can, we've built things for clients where they can kind of share data with their advertisers that way and whatnot. So
yeah, so just the kind of built-in stats that you see, just by their nature, since we made it as kind of generic as possible, aren't that powerful. But the data behind the scenes could be used for
good data collection,
any number of things.
not particularly efficient reporting on top of it. and not a particularly flexible user interface to get there. Yeah. Google Analytics really does shine if you're like,
there's no filtering, it's all the last 5
where
minutes.
referrals came from and all that kind of stuff. So there's a little insight on that. The next forum funness, I believe, is disabling add to and moving blocks. So there is a thread, and he says, I am looking for a way to disallow users to be able to move or add to areas. Excuse me. I just want them to be able to edit the existing content I've added to the template. I have advanced permissions enabled, and I do not see a way to do this currently. Well, there is a way to do this currently, at least some of it, much of it. If you go to the block area as opposed to specific block, so if you're thinking about, like, you got main, and inside of main you got a content block, an image, a survey, or whatever, at the very bottom where you would add a new block, you click that, and if you have advanced permissions turned on, you will see a permissions option from that menu. Yep. And you'll get a little window that lets you control which groups can add which blocks to this area on this page.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the prettiest interface you've ever seen, but you get groups down one side, and each one of them gets like a list of all the blocks. Turn all those checkboxes off, and anyone, unless they are in a group that does have access to add that thing, they will not be able to add new blocks to that area.
Yeah. And that area will also keep those, if you don't have access to add blocks to that area, you won't be able to move blocks from other areas on that page into that area.
That's right. Only move things into areas you have permissions to add stuff to. Yeah. What you can't do today is keep people from moving, period, outside of their ability to add something to an area. Yeah. There's no permission for movement on its own.
Yeah. So you can, if you give people access to edit the blocks within an area, they could also change the order of those blocks.
Yeah. And that's the type of thing that we probably should really address with the advanced permissions thinking that we're doing with 5.3.
Yeah.
And those are lovely requirements to hear. We've got an awful lot of really powerful stuff happening with the advanced permissions. If you are
rebuild.
Yeah, if you're Git friendly, you should definitely be tinkering with that and playing with it. We just added a whole bunch of bulk permission changes stuff to the sitemap dashboard stuff. Like there's a lot of cool stuff happening there. And to be honest, it's getting a little challenging for us to imagine the use cases. There are conversations that happen here where it's just like, it's so hypothetical.
How would that even help? And then when someone actually comes along with a real world use case, you'd be like, that makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
That's not our business.
Like right now, that is our business, but we've got half a dozen clients that we're building it for, and there's all of you. So if you would love to look at those advanced permissions and give us some sense as to like, okay, this is great, but how would I, or it would be awesome if it could, that is the type of direction that we could really benefit from and appreciate over the next few weeks. The last Fun with Forums thread for today. Is it possible to give content supervisors not access to dashboard? And this is an oldie but goodie. I think this is actually in the top 10 most helpful threads across our entire forum area. That's why I brought it up. Basically, he wants to lock down parts of the dashboard so he can kind of have sub-admins. I want someone who can, add a user but not maybe get to page types and that kind of thing. And if you didn't know it, yes, you can do it. You can do it in almost any version of concrete5 you should be using will let you do this. You would have to turn advanced permissions on?
Actually, no. You could actually go to, if you have basic permissions on, if you just went to the sitemap and showed system pages, you could go, you'd find the dashboard node, edit the permissions on there, and you just see a list of checkboxes to which groups can see this page, and by default it would just be the administrators group would have that check next to it.
Sure.
If you just remove that, or check something else, or whatever, you could lock it down so that administrators could edit the front end, but they wouldn't have any access.
So there is, if you go to the sitemap, however you're going to get there, there's a little checkbox in the upper right-hand corner, or if you're in 5.5, it's in a drop-down under advanced. Very easy to miss, but it shows system pages. And you should turn that on and wander around, and you'll realize everything in your concrete5 site is in fact built with concrete5 pages, and you can manage it with the same permissions you would on a front-end content page. So super cool and powerful, and well worth exploring. There you go. That is fun, and it was forumy. Let's have a totally random moment.
Totally random moment!
Purple Panda!
Hey, you guys.
They are.
Oh, is it coming?
Yeah, Purple Panda.
Well, there he is. Look, here's a panda.
Hello, Purple Panda. Oh, I got just stand right here. Oh, he's just wait. The waiting. Look. He's just somebody proudly.
Great. That is awesome.
I can watch that one.
That was good. That one frame where the kid's just like,
And the guy's trying to keep it together. He's like, well, we can skip
just a little man in here. It's not going to help, dude. No one wants to know there's a man in your purple panda.
Like the purple panda ate some man.
That purple panda is hitting the internets by storm. If you haven't seen it, oh my god, that's funny.
That is funny.
I don't know, maybe you need kids, but I think that is funny.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, there you go. See? Doesn't matter. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Fear. Hilarious. Shall we PRB?
Sure, let's do this.
And now it's time for the peer review ball.
Featuring new themes and add-ons.
Content themes.
Oh. Everlasting.
I believe our PRB push this week was pretty light, but it looked like we had some good themes and one add-on, I believe.
Yeah, it's a smoothie theme.
Yeah, let's start from the bottom here. Smoothie theme.
That looks nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Pretty.
Yeah, this is a free theme, and
That's always nice too.
That's good.
it does actually look pretty cool.
Ooh, that is cool.
It's a little responsive too,
Oh,
and
nice. Yeah, I like this.
moves around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I think I've
that's
seen
right.
that. I've seen that Google font around before too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It looks very.
Yeah, it's super flexible.
I like themes that have fixed stuff scrolling with the or like not scrolling with the content.
Background stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool too. You gotta be careful with it.
Yeah, you do.
Well done, thank you. Great corporate blog.
This one's by Canon F700, and let's see. I'm trying to get the demo going here. Oh no demo.
Looks like there is a link. It's just
Yeah. Let me try to pull this up and fix it here. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Corporate blog.rhino media. Oh, it's gonna look pretty funky. This is my Ustream window is pretty small, so it will look funky.
Collapses up in a weird way.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it's got a bit of content sort of aggregation at the bottom with recent comment and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Even
Yeah.
further a little bit.
Yeah.
Recent posts, recent comment.
Cool.
Connect. That's important. That's
Screenshots
cool.
of how it might look on a larger monitor, I guess. But,
Nice.
that's cool.
So it probably integrates with some of the blogging tools.
Yes,
Yeah, sure.
it does.
Looks like it.
I believe it's ProBlog and Core Composer Blog.
Awesome.
Great, there you go.
It's good to see.
Sweet, thank you very much.
Another theme here called Axis.
Ooh, full of Mac-centric.
This is by
device
looks like it's by
rendering.
Formiga. Been taking the PRB by storm.
Yeah, wow. Responsive and highly customizable.
It's cool. I feel like it's trying to load something in that back.
Maybe not.
Nice.
Cool. It's always nice to see stuff that works well on a variety of devices.
Yeah, it's super important these
Yeah,
days.
it is.
It's crisp. Nothing never went wrong with blue and gray, man. I've never met someone with money that didn't like
Yeah,
blue.
like Big Blue, IBM.
Oh, safe. Looks like money.
And finally, the last item approved for the PRB today is an add-on. It's called Flex Slider by
Nice.
Osco. Looks like this is is it an image slider? Is it content?
It is
an
an
CDN
Image
capability.
slider. We could use some image slider.
It is an image slider, indeed. Yes.
Do you know off the top of your head what the built-in CDN capability refers to? I'm just curious.
That seems odd.
Yeah.
See if your image is on a CDN. Optional, so you can pull the images out of S3 or something like that, maybe. Why you would need to do that.
That's cool.
Some options here. Okay, here's some CDN stuff.
CDN URL. Does it just... Yeah, sort of.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
There you are. Next we need to go get a CDN.
Those are pretty. It's
Oh, this is going to be mobile or iOS friendly slider stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that if you actually want to make stuff that's optimized, that is optimized for the new iPad display, like it is going to kind of.
Oh, it's probably gotta be a jillion.
Yeah, it's huge.
Right?
It's massive.
Yeah.
Like you have to serve 2 images.
Yeah.
One that's like at a resolution that I don't think my MacBook can support because it's like 2,000 pixels horizontal.
How's that going to work with bandwidth?
I don't know.
I know.
It's sort of like a. I was thinking about that. It's like, wow, I guess now we know where all our computing resources are going to go in the next little push of CPUs because it's like, hey, you make a game that has to work at 2,000 pixels.
Oh,
cool.
I was fine with EGA. Great, Sven.
Nice. That's
That's
PRB.
Thank you.
I think there's one more.
Oh,
Ooh. That's right. It did not make it into the blog because
we
a
had
weird
an
system
error.
hiccup that we don't understand.
sweet.
I love the gremlins.
Oh. All right. Looks like there's some more
More
exciting
gremlins.
debugging opportunities in our future.
This one's called Clear Cache.
Nice.
Okay.
And this is just a job that you can install. You can install through the marketplace. If you ever find yourself needing to periodically clear your site's cache on a schedule, you can install this. It's a job, and then concrete5 jobs can be croned in the background, so they can run once a day. And most sites won't need this, but if you're using file-based caching on a large site and you have disabled the file-based caching garbage collection, which makes it faster, but leaves a million cache entries and never cleans them up, you will probably want to run this every 8 hours or so.
Yeah, because there's different ways. With concrete5, you get kind of a flexible caching layer, so you can use different caching engines.
Yeah, and the the easiest to configure, so it's the one we roll with out of the box, is not really the fastest.
Right.
But it is the one we can depend on always being there.
Yep.
And that's the one you find you need to clear every once.
Yeah, well, and then different ones, who knows what will happen next, so different ones may clean up after themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
So when you clear your cache from within concrete5, you're kind of forcing a wipe.
Yeah.
And, in some cases that may be,
You want to schedule
that
that.
might be a good way to schedule it.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the PRB. Now, thank you very much. It's exciting to see the marketplace continue to grow, and good to see both free and paid stuff going in there, and that's great. And I'm also excited for next week when we get new PRB stuff in there. I think we'll be able to ramp up the turnaround time on that stuff significantly. Trying to be a little bit better about that over the last months, but it's always a lot of back and forth.
I think it's nice, it's easy for us to look at that and like get down on the amount of time it takes. I think it'll be good for everyone because it will more clearly communicate the expectations to everyone. It's a big checklist. You can see if you pass, you see if you fail, you can vote things up.
Yeah, the checklist is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's at least a dozen automated checks in there that there are things that like may or may not be happening by hand now, but like each one is this kind of organic discovery. Like, oh, you really should. I mean, I guess it's cool that you didn't really read the docs fully, but who's perfect, right?
Yeah,
So
and
it's
even
nice to have
like,
the system to, like,
and the fact that it can take a developer, they can see all the ways that they screw up and then put in one version to fix it. Like, I imagine
all the opportunities they have for better execution.
But
No
like, I can
one's
imagine like, if you were to submit your add-on for the first time and it took you like 2 weeks to have 8 different people tell you things that are just so menial, like in certain cases, I'd be steam. Like, you forgot a execute statement at the top of this file, and then 2 more files. Like, no, this thing will run, find all those cases for you, and you get the opportunity to fix them yourself.
Right, it'd be like if you submitted an essay at the end of your midterms and like the feedback came like
piecemeal
by your other students over the next 3 months.
Yeah.
That would be frustrating for everyone. So
this paragraph really could be tighter at the time. Right? You know what?
So this is good. It's good stuff. Next week, boom. Let's do how would you do it?
How would we do that?
How would we do that? Not how would you do it? It's gross. What? Do we got any questions? I got nothing to talk about. Wide open.
I got some questions. I'll grab this one that's right out in the open. J.A. Steele 123 asks, in my BT form questions database table, all position column values are 1,000, which they are ordered by in emails. Where is that supposed to be being set?
This was a bug that we fixed a while ago. I believe Remo actually submitted a pull request for this. This is months ago. I don't recall if that retroactively fixed those things or if you have to go in and edit them and then on a new enough version of concrete5 and then it will reapply those values. I honestly don't remember. Those, but I do know there was a bug with that if your site got started, you know, a year or more ago and you've been upgrading. So I would maybe edit the form block, try and move those inputs up and down until you get them right, and then save it and see if that affects the position.
There you go.
That's what I would do.
That's how Andy would do it.
There was an issue with that.
Cool.
That rings a bell.
I've got a question from IPZent. This looks like kind of an installation question. How would you install concrete5 with Nginx on Nginx? There you go. And on CentOS 6.2.
We don't have a lot of experience with Nginx, and not because it's bad, just because there's only so much time in the day. So I honestly don't know. I do know that people have gotten it to work. So
to the forums with you.
To the forums. People have made it work. I do know that your certain things like pretty URLs and stuff do work, but you're sort of on your own for providing the right syntax for getting it working.
All right, cool.
Check the web server?
Yeah, it's a web server. It's a lot lighter weight and faster than Apache. It's easier to configure too, which is not bad because Apache is
yeah.
But yeah,
but concrete5 works well on Apache and
yeah.
IIS version 7. I think.
Yeah, 7 is
so,
what we officially tested on.
And it works on those.
Yeah.
So you should be able to make it work on other stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I just don't know.
Next up.
Got one from Jordan Lev. He asks, how would you package up marketplace add-ons with a theme and avoid conflicts if a user already has it installed or tries to install it again later?
I think you would have to check at install time to see whether that theme was already in the system, and if so, add an error to the install process saying, yo, you've already got that theme installed.
Or proceed to install the rest of the stuff that you wanted to install.
Yeah. So just skip over that theme if it's already been installed. And plus with 5.5 there is the opportunity to provide that options screen when you install, and you don't actually have to put anything on there. You could just say, it's a nice little spot to put some explanation as well. So you could put in that options screen, you could detect on that screen whether the theme was installed and display a message to the user saying, we found this theme already, so we're not going to install that, but we'll install the rest of the stuff.
Cool. All right. Got a question from John the Fish. He asks, for any picture shown on a page, including cached thumbnails, can I work backward to the original file ID?
Probably not from the cache, because we MD5 we take the file name, the file, the thumbnailing function isn't even aware of the file object at all. It just works based off a path. So, and since it's MD5, you can't really work back from the hash to get the file name. So, not really. You know, it would be interesting to see if you could. It probably wouldn't be that difficult to change the that thumbnailing function to include the ID before the hash, because it can be named whatever you want it to, and then that might be useful at some point, but not today.
Okay, looks like there's some more chat in here about Nginx and stuff like that. Everyone's getting involved. Sounds good. Strider SEO asks, let me grab this chat window again. Do you have any plans to add sort and search capabilities to the licenses page? Because hunting through a whole bunch of pages leaves me cross-eyed.
I agree. We're not adding sort or search, but what we are going to do is this is part of the update next week, is we are, instead of showing each individual license, we are just going to show the add-ons that you have licenses to, and then group all the, and then just show the actual assigned licenses under those add-ons if you click for more information on them, and then not show We'll show you a number of how many.
Yeah, if you bought 999 add-ons from C5 Mix or some theme, it will, one theme listing, 998 remaining of 999. Here's where it's like, so you should go back to having a couple of pages to go through, as opposed to the 500 pages.
It's still paginated, but you know it's going to be a couple pages. If you've bought 50, if you've purchased licenses to 50 different add-ons, you'll get 5 pages, but they're all alphabetical. And you can easily see how many licenses remaining. You can still download archives.
Way saner.
It's a lot better. A lot better.
Okay, cool. Got a question from Jordan. He asks, what does Andrew think of this idea? The ability to denote a custom page attribute as requiring a page refresh after change. So if my design changes with attributes, users see it immediately.
I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, I've definitely had that. We have that problem on our own site where, I mean, where changing something as a custom attribute, you know, after you change it, it will reflect on the page, and so we know to hit refresh ourselves. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how we would do that. I can definitely see the value of it because we have instances on our own site when that would be, when changing an attribute does not accurately reflect what the page looks like underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only question is what happens if you're halfway through a bunch of other edits? I guess reloading the page isn't a big deal.
Yeah, I think it would probably, what it probably would do is, since it's part of the modal pop-up and you're in the custom attributes tab, you'd go through them. If you changed one, once you hit right now when you hit the save button underneath or the close button, it just goes away.
It don't do the refresh once.
When you exit or like.
And then, but what if I had also been making like content changes and stuff? I mean, your page is still on edit mode. Isn't a big deal.
Yeah. Once you've made those changes, they should they will have already been saved.
You don't have the check in check out problem.
Yeah. Huh. I mean,
how else could that go wrong? As long as you trap all of the with the redundant ones, like you're saying, so you don't reload the page 20 times and change each attribute.
Yeah, I think it would probably
reasonable.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, you know, actually, that wouldn't be that hard because what you save them on the server, and then we close the window. But you could, when you're saving the attribute on the server, if you happen to be saving an attribute that requires this refresh, you could just use JavaScript to refresh the page instead of just closing the window. You know, I could see it leading to kind of a weird, I don't know, like the potential downsides. It leads to kind of a weird ambiguity in the experience, I guess I would say. Like, sometimes my page reloads when I click save, and sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, this would only be, you couldn't necessarily turn this on for, like, this would not be the default. So I don't know, but it would.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how it's gonna magically break everything.
It probably wouldn't.
I'm at a loss as to how it would go south. So that might be a good idea.
It's probably pretty low on our list of things to do. I think if we'd accept something like that.
Yeah, if it worked.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds like Iconic Schema says you can use data attributes and maybe create a listener.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Some ideas jumping around the chat here.
Oh, that's probably just in the JavaScript. I'm probably just talking.
Yeah, I don't think you want to hack it. You don't want the page reloading while you're still in the properties.
No, that's true.
That would be a bad scene.
Yeah.
You don't want to happen on each change, right? If you've got like 16 different attributes that you've added to the page, all of which may impact the way it looks, you don't want to reload the page 16 times.
Because the way and the page attributes work a little differently than file and user in the dashboard. Like, you don't save one at a time. So you have your 6 attributes on that page. They're all in the edit mode in the custom attributes dialog. So when you click save, right now it saves that in the background and closes the window. But it would be pretty easy to, instead of just always closing the window when save is complete, look through the different attributes that you have saved in that one request.
One of these requires refresh.
Yep. So I just
refresh. Yeah.
It's actually, the way that it's built is pretty easy, I would imagine, to make that happen from in the flow of the computer.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good one, Jordan.
Yeah.
All right. Travis Nades asks, is that beer in those coffee mugs?
It is
It's
10:45 in the morning here, so as passionate as we are for
As Portlandy as we
a
are.
relaxed Portland lifestyle, and while I don't think it is any secret that we do in fact have 3 beers on tap in the office right now, well, we have Cleanse Cream, which is a delicious kind of summery. It's not really like a Hefeweizen, but it's got like a kind of crisp.
I was not
to it.
expecting it to taste the way that it
Yeah, I mean, it says cream in the name.
I was
It's
like,
kind of
oh,
like a
God,
cream
it's
soda,
gonna
but
be
it's
like
not.
that,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. We have a porter for migration, which I used to drink a lot of porter,
Yeah,
and
I
I
did
kind of
too.
stopped. And but this is just really
It's good.
it's reserved for a porter. It's not. It's not. You know, sometimes it's just like you're drinking like this kind of coffee chocolate milk.
It's like I'm drinking Rye Variety.
Yeah, totally. This is not. This is a very nice kind of spring porter, one might say. And then the absolute fave, the Lulupia IPA, again from Migration, which we just blast right through. That is delicious.
Yeah.
Migration. Oh yeah, you can't throw Migration up. Give them some props. Give them another. There you go, Migration. I want to cut. Yeah, those guys are great. Right up the street.
They're using the slider.
Using the slide. That's not a concrete process. No. Maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, that's if you ever come to Portland, they're worth checking out. Yeah, it's good sandwiches and stuff.
This is coffee.
This is actually coffee. We
hit the coffee really hard up until around 3.
3 o'clock is the hour at which it's okay to drink beer in our office. Before 3 o'clock, that's just kind of like dangerous.
Yeah.
So there you go. Stepping aside from the occasional lunch, where
Oh,
you know maybe there'd be a beer, but you know you start drinking beer here at 10 in the morning,
No.
nothing's ever going to get done. So 3 and on, bring it on. Anything else?
Yeah, I got a question from Ollie Phillips. He asks sort of a question about marketplace search. He searches for a developer's name, trying to find all the add-ons or themes by that developer, but he only gets one result, even though the developer has a few.
Probably not searching right.
Yeah, it's probably just by dumb luck that any results come back because
Yeah.
it is not searching the developer name.
You can go to the developer's profile and see all their add-ons from the bottom of their profile. So if you click on their name from an add-on, you get there and there's a nice little grid of all their add-ons. So that can happen there.
Yeah, we use that.
And there was also talk, I don't know if you're doing this or not, but we're going to add a keywords field to the PRB so you could kind of like clean up your description a little bit. We have found that some of the names and descriptions of add-ons are a little chatty, to be honest with you. I mean, people are putting like the word block or add-on and a block or add-on title. Like, we know what it is. That's why we're in the marketplace.
They're making their content blocks very SEO friendly.
Yeah, which is
So
cool.
which is
You
fine.
know, searching is important and all.
Block. We got
Yeah,
it.
and then that short description, sometimes it kind of ganks the marketplace listing page. If it's a little long and the price kind of like jimmies down the box. So like that is one of the things on our list of stuff to clean up with this push that we're doing next week. And we're kind of hoping that maybe if we add a keywords field to the add-on management interface, and you can put some keywords in there that would make you happy from an SEO standpoint, and perhaps make your add-on or theme titles and short descriptions a little more terse, and that would help everyone. Oh, the other thing I should bring up while I got your attention, I think Julia's going to reach out to some specific people on this. There's been some, I find it encouraging but also dismissive at the same time. Some hacking, some clever figuring of marketplace listings on detail pages to make them look super tight on concrete5.org.
Yeah, they look particularly on some themes.
I'm thinking of a couple of theme developers that have like a related themes.
Yeah,
thing
other
on the
themes
side.
by, yeah.
Also, really cool idea for a feature of the marketplace.
They have done it in such a way that, you know, it took us a second to, did we add this feature? Because it's very nicely
looks
positioned.
great on our site.
Some
4 other themes you might like compared to this kind
Yeah.
of floats underneath the little black icons. Looks great on our site. Looks like complete trash in the in your own site shopping experience.
Yeah, we should probably, you know, as far as learning from the community what is needed and what might be useful, we should totally steal this idea and just make it work across the board.
The cross thing?
You know, the cross-linking. But
yeah, maybe. It's a little tricky. I mean, they're promoting their own themes
Yeah.
in there, so I'm not sure they would like it as much
Yeah.
if you just grab 4 themes when you're on a theme page. So I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that it's a discussion unto itself. But you might. I mean, that's cool. I have no problem with you figuring out inline styles, and sometimes people are hosting images on other sites and that's cool. I mean, it'd be really nice if you didn't try to shill services that were not related to the add-on or theme in question. It'd be nice if you kept the sales of your add-on or theme on our site, since we're all working together. If you want to make your listings look pretty, by all means,
Yeah.
right? We're going to add some stuff to the PRB add-on deal to let you at least do a little more styling. I think we're going to give them a couple of header options for so you're not straight up just doing it from scratch. But you really should also look at what it looks like in 5.5 when you are browsing from within your site, because
those look crazy.
Those look horrible. They're unusable almost, and people can buy stuff right from their own site that way. And particularly as folks, as new folks find concrete5. Shockingly, more people find concrete5 through their one-click installers on budget hosts like DreamHost, Bluehost, whatever, than actually come to our own site and install it themselves. So there's thousands of people every day that are tinkering with it a little bit.
And many purchases every day that come without ever leaving their own site. So it's important to make sure that those listings are good.
They can work. They can actually buy your stuff, never leaving their site. But if your stuff doesn't look good, they're not going to buy it. Right. So make sure your screenshots are nice, because they're big in the in-site shopping experience. Make sure you're not hacking the content display in a way that doesn't work well. You might have to give up a little bit to make it look good on both sides. But as more and more people upgrade and more new customers just engage at 5.5 and better, it's going to be more and more important to be able to sell your stuff outside of our marketplace within people's own sites. Boom! What else? Doing good. Okay, close to the end. So give me some good ones.
You want a good one? Okay. What's going on with Franz's facial hair?
Yeah! It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Swinging for the fences.
Yeah, spring craziness. Yeah.
CW Spear says, can we get a close-up of that? What's going on there?
Got some burns. I'll need trim.
Don't get a close-up of my nose yet.
Alright, cool. What is going on with the theme contest, says Barco57.
That's a good question.
What is going on with the theme contest?
Ask Lucas. He's running that one.
Yeah.
I know.
He'd be interested in knowing.
They've got some, they have submissions, and I know they've got some judging that has to happen. I don't think the judging's really started. I know,
believe the deadline has passed, though.
The deadline has passed. It's been kind of extended a couple times, or like stretched out. So I think they're probably time to start some scoring, judging, whatever. Yeah. Wake up, Luke. There you go. Theme contest. I do not know.
Okay. It's community driven.
Cool. I think that mostly covers everything I've seen, unless I've missed something in here.
Cool. Well, I mean, as always, some of these answers you're going to get, some of these questions you'll get faster answers for in the forums. We don't know how to install it on whatever that web server is. So don't be afraid to post something in the forums if you're not getting a good answer, or if you get a great answer. I might very well feature it on Fun with Forums next week.
You might want to take a look in the how-to section as well, now that I think about it. There is a fair amount of host and platform-specific installation guides in the how-to. So maybe take a stroll through there as well.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Looking forward to next week, and we'll see you then.
Cool.
Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time.